This video is already destined for failure because I just asked Liz if she wanted to go and check her hair in the mirror before we started, and you said, I just have done. Uh-oh.
I'm literally crying with laughter. It does look a bit of a bugger, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Anyway, let's do this video. In triathlon and multisport events, the transition is the fourth discipline and often leads to the result of the race. It's becoming more and more important the time you're spending in transition. I've been working on this year because I'm not much good at the rest of multisport, and I've come to some conclusions which I'm going to try and prove today with science. Now, not proper science, this is more, in fact it's very bro science, but I'm going to be showing and testing 5 different pairs of shoes, trainers specifically, so this works for aquathon, duathlon, triathlon, whatever lons there is, and try and see which trainers are fastest to put on, because I've discovered something this year. I modified some shoes and I think they're the best, but I need some science to prove how. Now, I've got a glamorous assistant who's going to help me with said science. Good afternoon, Elizabeth.
Good afternoon.
Are you okay?
Yes, thank you.
How are you going to be helping me today?
So, 2 things.
Yeah.
I've got my kitchen timer, so I'll be doing the start and the stop. And also, I'm the videographer.
Brilliant. Do you think you can manage both those things?
I don't know.
How many
challenge?
How many decimal places are we measuring time to?
Oh,
Only 2.
2.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to be testing these by actually doing a proper transition. Now, Elizabeth, you could please hold that and point that in my general direction. You might ask me, is a tri-suit absolutely necessary? The answer is absolutely yes. Let's get stuck in. Okay, so the actual test. Now, I'd love to get my bike out and cycle down this living room. However, Liz will not let me. So this is going to be all on foot. However, I'm pretty sure we can still do a decent job. I'm going to set a baseline with my trainers. Now, these are normal lace-up trainers, what a lot of people will use for racing, particularly when they're first starting out and so on. I've got a few pairs of new trainers at the minute, so I thought I was going to take this opportunity to do this. I have a mat which is going to serve as our transition area, and also the area in which it will stop Liz going absolutely mad at me. No shoes are allowed outside of this area. So, shoes are going to be there. I'm going to come in hot from this end. When I hit that mat, Liz is going to start the timer, and then I'm going to do 2 strides. When I get to the end of the mat, timer stops, we'll take a leaderboard. That sound alright?
Sounds good.
What can possibly go wrong? How many strides back do I need to take?
Quite a few. Right, this is a lot of pressure.
Okay, so I've got 5 pairs of trainers to go through, starting with the entry level. Here we go. I feel like I'm psyching myself up for a big effort here. Liz, are you ready?
Ready.
I've not got 2 takes in me, so we're going to have to go for it.
Shall I do your countdown?
Yeah, go on then.
3, 2, 1, go! Oh, can I start at the right time?
No, hang on. Start it when I'm gonna put 1 foot on the mat.
Okay,
So
and then
start it when
that's
a
when
foot
I
hits the
stop.
mat.
Right, let's just reset. Okay, right, hang on. Ready, steady, go.
We're going to go single knots with lace-up shoes because I think if I was in a race, I'd probably be pressured into doing single knot and just going for it.
16 seconds.
16 seconds, right. That was pretty good. I feel like in a race, you'd be more stressed than that.
And often people sometimes sit down, don't they, when
Why
they
so out of
put
breath?
lace trainers on.
Right. 16 seconds. Was 16 point something or 16 down?
I can't tell you that.
There's no decimal places. Brilliant. Next up, the trainers that I have been using for the majority of my racing this year. These are Nike Alphafly Next Percents with elastic laces in. I'm glad you can't smell them through the camera. Are you counting me in or?
Go.
Oh, no.
7 seconds.
7 seconds. Now, I had a bit of a wobble there. I'm going to leave things like that in because these are actually quite unstable, and that does happen in transition. So, because the foam's that soft and squidgy. Okay, what was that, 7 seconds?
Yep.
Okay, we're only working to actual round numbers now because there's no decimal places on that measure. Okay. Alphaflys are the ones to beat. Now, I'm going to save the ones that I think I've discovered this year till the end. These are the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2s. I haven't actually ever worn these. These are my new racing shoes for next year. They have normal laces in, but I would put elastic laces in these. So what I've done is, I've just loosened the laces off, and I'm going to count it as if that's elastic laces, so I'm going to just put my foot in and then step forward with them, because that's the same sort of setup as the Alphafly. And I do know that people do say that these are quite tight around the top, so maybe this will be quite interesting. So it's like probably as loose as elastic laces will be. Oh, we've got 7 seconds to beat.
Yep.
Okay.
Ready, steady, go.
They are quite tight. Blimey me. Well, Tom's quite big as well.
Oh, 9.
9 seconds. Now, I had another wobble with that one as well. The tongue is actually massive. Look at that. That's folded over as I've tried to pull it on, and it's actually stuck on itself. That is, yeah, I can see how people are moaning about that. Okay, so the second to last pair of trainers are the Nike Alphafly Tempo Next Percent. So these aren't the top of the range shoes. These are the mid-range shoes, probably designed for fast tempo workouts, and that's what I use them for. But the specific thing I want to test with these is they are the FlyEase model, and that means that the heel squashes down, and there's no laces. It's sort of got built-in lock laces, so when you pull your shoe on, you pull that top bit up and it sort of tensions up the laces in there, and if you want to loosen them off, you pull that off there. Theory sounds great. You don't pull them on the heel over your foot. You're supposed to almost like cram your foot on them, squash it down and push them in. So we'll see how we get on with these, and I really look forward to seeing how these compare against the hack that I came up with earlier this year. Here's some Pepsi Max. Cheers. Cherry, obviously.
Ready, steady, go.
So the point of these is that you don't have to use your hands. You could be doing your helmet and stuff. That was good, wasn't it?
Oh.
That was really good. What was that?
We've got a winner.
So you don't need to put the timer in front of the camera. Just say
5 seconds.
5 seconds. Wow. So the good thing about those was I wasn't having to use my hands. I just squashed my foot down. Whether in reality, if you're a little bit unstable in transition, you'd be able to do that, I don't know. But that actually felt really good. And in multisport, you might be taking your helmet off, or you might be taking, I don't know, your number belt off, whatever you're doing. Let's try that again. That works really well. Yeah. It's unfortunate that these aren't the top of the range shoes, because the Vaporflys and Alphaflys are supposed to be a little bit faster than those once you're actually running. I feel like I should have kept a note of what time each shoes was doing.
That's why I keep putting the camera up.
Okay, so the final pair of shoes. Now these are the Nike Alphafly Tempo Next Percents, but not the FlyEase model. Now I have used these in races twice this year as they're currently set up. They have like an elastic tongue, and I've actually taken the laces out. So there's no laces at all, no elastic laces, nothing. So the top of the shoe is quite a wide entry, and there's just an elastic thing across the top. I find that is brilliant. Now you do lose a little bit of stability when you're running, in that it doesn't hold your foot in quite secure, so if you go around corners and stuff, you don't feel quite stable. But if you're on a course that's pretty straightforward and not too twisty and turny, I like that. And I've actually done a duathlon with these that was a bit of on, bit of off-road, and I felt like these were absolutely perfect. So this is my secret duathlon / triathlon hack. But let's see what the scoreboard says. I feel like, was it 5 seconds or 6
5
seconds? 5 seconds. I don't think it's physically possible for me to cover that distance in less than 5 seconds. But if that is similar to the FlyEase, then I'll be happy.
Ready, steady, go. Oh! Same.
5 seconds, exactly the same. Right. I mean, the advantage of the FlyEase over these, I had to use my hands for that, didn't I? But I didn't have to use my hands for the FlyEase, so they're neck and neck. But say this is just a dodgy DIY hack, I'm pretty happy with that. In reality, the difference between the lace-up shoes and these shoes was what? So 16 seconds to 5 seconds, 11 seconds. If you're doing a long-distance triathlon, that's not really a factor. However, if you're doing a sprint distance race or a duathlon, and if you're racing or if you're in a group or something, that's 11 seconds you haven't got to run faster than the other people to beat them. So definitely worth thinking of. So conclusions. These, or the FlyEase, are faster in transition, but only by 2 seconds to Alphaflys with elastic laces. What would I use in a race? Probably Alphaflys or the elastic lasers or the Vaporflys if I can sort out those tongs. Interesting. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you use for racing and what transition hacks do you do to your trainers? I've seen some people cutting the tongs out of those Vaporflys, for example. Let me know in the comment section down below. But that is it, my attempt at sort of bro science. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for some proper triathlon training.